Well, welcome everyone to the Nuffield Fertilisers for the Future conference. It's a fantastic venue we have here at Harper for today's event. It's so pleasing to see such an excellent turnout again for the Arden Award conference.
As the UK's largest specialist provider of land-based higher education, we have obviously a very close affinity to what the Nuffield movement is trying to do. We're particularly pleased to be able to host this Nuffield event. Now, you all know that the agri-food area is seeing a renaissance to the extent that it now even features in the government's innovation and research strategy that was published in December as a key area in which the UK needs to increase innovation in economically important sectors. And obviously, that is what Nuffield is trying to achieve. It's opening the eyes and minds of people to innovation as they see it around the world.
So why specifically phosphorus for me? Well, since I joined the industry in the late 1990s, fertiliser, I've always been struck by the genuine lack of understanding across all stakeholders with regards to phosphorus. How exactly do plants take the nutrient up? Is water solubility a really important issue? And how can we as farmers increase the efficiency of that nutrient? We hear the scare stories that we'll run out of phosphorus in 50 years. And this was an article that came out of the Sunday Times only in November 25th, 2011, quoting the lack of phosphorus in the world.
Since fertiliser was manufactured back in the early 1905 time, then we have now doubled the loading of nitrogen into the global nitrogen cycle. And clearly that has an impact. We have the map there. It's now considered to be one of the top 10 global environmental problems when it comes to dead zones around the world. And you can see there how much of those dots are focused on Europe, the UK. So clearly there is degradation which is associated with nitrogen going into that global nitrogen cycle.
Organic matter is massively important, as we all know. It's a nutrient store cupboard, and it acts as a layer, like a spongy layer, to provide resilience to compaction from livestock and high axle loads and heavy machinery. It's assumed by chemical manufacturers that an average arable soil in the UK has 5% organic matter. I can tell you from the results I've seen that it's very rarely above 2. So when you're putting pre-emergence herbicides on, that obviously has a huge knock-on effect to the efficacy of them, which is starting to be the whys and wherefores from my farmer and his anecdotal blackgrass evidence of why suddenly his pre-emergence were doing a lot more on their blackgrass, was because he got more organic matter.
One of the first things that struck me when I travelled abroad was the scale of some of the operations. And when you see outfits at that sort of size, it really does make you wonder how one man can operate all that on his own. And this is really where technology comes to life, because technology with automation can really help somebody in operation conditions. But technology in scale like this also has implications to the nature and the sizes of your fields. And as we've seen since the 1940s, 1950s, field sizes have amalgamated, and we've had a lot more joining of fields to make larger units. So managing what would have been a subfield and sub-management in the past has now become a sort of forgotten art.